Welcome back. Here's where you left off. Spoilers ahead for the bonus chapters in Fourth Wing by Rebecca Yarros.
That was the waste of 1.5 hours of my entire life. This bonuses chapters are the most useless bonus chapters ever, and this was a money-making scheme from the author and the book publishers. That's my comment.
I kind of agree with you. I mean, I liked it, but I do also, it's almost like it was one of those things like she was testing out, do you want the book from his perspective? Which, I mean, I do kind of want it from his perspective now. But yeah, it seemed like she was kind of jumping on that trend that people are doing. And I felt like, I don't know, there were better chapters that they could have done. Like, I wish we either got a little bit more or maybe some different chapters. I wasn't a huge fan of the chapters that she picked for him, it to be his perspective.
It would be nice.
Yeah, I agree.
It would be nice.
Those are pretty bad.
Yeah, it would be nice to pick a chapter, for example, when he saved Violet from those unriders. Unbonded. That would be a great point of view.
And that was when he has said multiple times that was when he realized that he was falling in love with her. So I'm like, I think that would have been a good turning point.
And the other one
is why didn't she do it all the chapters for his perspective?
If that's the case, it would be
another book. But
yeah, it's and to be honest with you, the only thing that came out of those 3 chapters, in my opinion, that Brandon was alive. But to be honest with you, I prefer not knowing until the end because it gives a little bit more suspense and be like, oh my God, WTF. This one
definitely. I'm glad that we did not listen to these chapters because they did reveal things you weren't supposed to know yet. We didn't know that as information. So it was definitely needed to be listened to after you read the entire first book, or else a lot of things would have been revealed. He mentioned, like Erasha, he mentioned Brennan being alive. He mentioned, although we did get kind of confirmation that he's kind of wanted Violet from the beginning, which I always felt that I was like, oh yeah, no, I mean, he wants her. He definitely wants her, like from the beginning. And I feel like we kind of got confirmation of that.
It is. I don't know. I've never been a big fan of like she said, he said type book style of writing because it gets very, very confusing. If the story, if the perspective of the story is based on both of them, then yeah, it makes a lot of sense. But having his perspective was the weirdest thing ever because he's literally repeating everything that Violet already said and think of. The only difference is, oh, Brandon's alive. Oh, ha, ha, ha. Who cares?
Right. I wanted more. I wanted more information. I wanted more from him instead of just, the entire chapter kind of repeated. And there wasn't enough of him to make it different. Because, I just felt like we were re-listening to the chapters with a little bit of his input kind of thing.
Like the best, even a chapter when he was outside, when Violet showed up after he had that dream, when the 2 dragons was doing it, and before Violet shows up, will be nice for his perspective in that sense. Then that's completely different story now. Right?
Yeah, or like what was he doing during times that she was doing something else? I would have liked some of that, like when he went off with his cousin or whatever. Like what were they doing? And that's what I was thinking was going to happen. So like last episode, I was thinking, okay, so these chapters are going to be. This is going to be good because we're going to get a lot of these blanks filled in of like what he was doing during certain times or something. So then when I realized that these chapters like repeated just from his perspective, I was like, wait, what? I don't know. I was a little disappointed in that.
Yeah, same here. It feels like if I can do way better other things in my hour and a half than reading this thing. It was a complete waste of my time, and there's no extra value on the storyline. Even the last, I think I remember I said in the last episode, how when the book ended, it ended 1 chapter too much. It should be ended like a chapter before. I think it was 28.
You didn't like him talking in the last.
No,
chapter
not about talking about him. It's his storyline that was the most dumbest thing ever. Because
look, I'm a Liam fan. I'll go back to that conversation if you want now. I'll have that right now, Liam. Yeah, if that's what you want to have.
Yeah, no. Because the reason why I'm very, very strongly against this 3 bonus chapters is how the book ended in chapter 39, right? The book should be ended in chapter 38. Because, like I said last time, it's naturally ended that way. it felt like she went to battle, something happened to her, and it gives a natural progression of like, I want more, right, for the next book.
I really hate
I think they wanted you to know that she was okay though, and then the big reveal was Brennan.
To be honest with you, I don't want to know if she's alive or dead at the end of the book. In my opinion,
I don't know. I can't agree with you on this because I think I would have been pissed if it ended at 38 and we thought that she might, she was poisoned or whatever. And I think I would have been like, what? No, I mean, it definitely would have made me even more want to read the next book. But I think I would have been pissed if it ended there.
Yeah, I think the way this book's been running, I think being pissed off at the end of that book, end of 38, how it started in 39, it should be chapter 1 of book 2. Because now
it would go in the thing that she does that a lot. She leaves you on cliffhangers, as we found several times during this entire podcast that we've been doing. Is that she leaves us on cliffhangers.
Her and Derek is the one who's like putting this together.
No, and then he just happens to pick them every time.
I know, God. But yeah, and having, if you want to do a flashback, then the last 3 chapters makes a lot of sense. The bonus chapters on book 2 give a little bit of a flashback. Right. Mm-hmm. So it just gives you a little bit more like flow, in my opinion. But having those 3 bonus chapters is the only information we have is Brandon's alive. Thank God we didn't read that part. And it would be nice to be considered as a prologue. If you have a prologue regarding that, then that makes a lot more sense, because a prologue can be a different story that can continue to the next book. This one is just like, I'm going to make this 3 chapters and make everyone happy, blah, 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 and I can make more money out of this because I can do version 2. And like, just do a fucking prologue.
She's never coming on this podcast. Derek, what did you think about these chapters?
I think that I hate to agree with Leonard in a couple ways here, because usually when I agree with Leonard, it just inflates his ego. But basically, if we'd ended when she had gotten stabbed, and say she could still do the reveal of Brendan sort of showing up on his dragon or something and being like him and Zane having that moment, but none of this chapter with Zane talking for an hour or whatever, her being indignant, going back to the moment where she's mad at him and all that, just leave that all off and just have the reveal of Brendan there to save her life or whatever. I think that would have been better in the end. But these chapters were completely useless. I mean, if you were to read through it, because the way when they re-released the book, chapter 9 has both perspectives in it. So as you said, you're reading the chapter twice. So what's the point of that? And even when you have his perspective, because she went back and rewrote it, when you write a chapter based on 2 people's perspective, you intermingle those perspectives together while you're writing the chapter. This doesn't happen because she went back and rewrote it. She doesn't rewrite chapter 9 from both perspectives. She just tacks it on, which has no value there too, in my mind. And also, I tend to agree with the voice actor for doing Zayden. It wasn't the best voice actor for it.
I'm not a huge fan of him now. Well. Yeah, I agree. I had to up the speed a little bit because his voice was a little annoying.
Yeah, plus how he speaks is like he gets excited next to you and he starts whispering. I'm like, there's one point I'm literally riding my volume in my car. I'm like, what the this is the most annoying thing ever.
What's funny is that he was doing the thing that I often think that female narrators do. He was getting very breathy in the way that he talked. I was like, oh, is this like your sexy voice? You're trying to do sexy voice? That's just funny.
If that's the case, it's like, hello, Violet. If you don't have to do a sexy voice, have it lower, like friggin' Barry White style. At least it gives a little bit more like a genuine,
I did like at one point, I think he called Dane like an asswipe. I thought that was really funny. I like out loud chuckles. There was that's a good one.
It's just nice because the only thing that's actually was really nice to hear in the last those bonus chapters is the way he was thinking. His internal monologue is especially if it's outside Violet, it's actually really good. But as soon as
I really liked I liked Zagale's. I like everything she said. She was very funny. And she was teasing him.
I know.
And then it was actually him. He was the one that couldn't keep away from her. And it wasn't even Zagale having issues. And she's like, yeah, okay. You want to blame it on me?
Because that conversation, because during the book itself, we found out that, he was blaming the dragon for doing that. When listening to Zagale's perspective in that one was really nice. But again, it'll be nice to see that in book 2. I'm like, you know what? I'm sick and tired of this. Hey, by the way, you know that thing you just went out? That was not my problem. That was a him problem, not a me problem. I was fine not to see Mr. T for like a couple of weeks. I need a break. So,
I know. I love when she was like teasing him. She's like, oh, I wonder if Violet's thinking about me. I wonder if she's getting too close to Dean. And I was like, yes, Miguel, I love you.
Oh, no,
She's
he's
funny.
his hands. Oh, God. What are you going to do now? Are you going to break down and cry?
I loved it. It was very funny.
Yeah. So it's I don't know.
I wanted more. Those are the little things that like we got, but I wanted more. And I wanted, more that was not just the repeat of the chapters. So that was, my main criticism of this is I didn't realize we were just getting a repeat of the chapters with a little bit of his perspective.
Yeah.
Why did she choose these chapters? Why were these chapters?
Yeah, why are these chapters? I don't know.
Yeah, because I think you have a point there, Hannah. It's like we wanted more, but the stuff that we got is we don't like.
Yeah,
right?
It was it was boring.
Yeah, because to be honest with you, I think we're not the only ones going to be commenting in this one because it was the most useless 3 chapters ever. This can be done through book 2 or a prologue. The storyline is his perspective. I understand that, but at the same time, choose something else. If you're gonna have 3 extra bonus, give me something else.
I did think we got. I think it was the last one, like chapter 27 or something like that. I thought that one was the best out of the 3 because we got a little bit more, like he was talking about Imogen going on, delivering whatever weapons or whatever. We got a little bit of extra storyline in there and a little bit more of his, like he admits that he's fallen for her by that point. So out of the 3, if I had to rate them, the last one was the best one. We got a little bit more. I thought,
because this is how I see this respect. If I'm the writer, if I rewrite this the last 2 chapters, it's gonna be his perspective as it's been planned, but I'll make the perspective of like him not being around Violet, him being around with the rest of the people, and having the story like, hey, I need you to do this. It's like, in other words, it's giving that mission away. Right, it's like the Marvel movies. At the end, there's a little sort of like, I need you to do this, or hey, you remember seeing this. That makes more sense than anything else, because that's when you get this feel of like, oh my gosh, something's gonna happen in the next book.
Yeah, and we could have gotten all this extra storyline with also his internal monologue, and he could be talking about Violet and thinking about her and stuff. I want to know, before he even went to, where they were, what was his thought process for that? What was he doing before? And then the decision to then go and meet her there. I wanted all of that. The beyond the other chapters. I wish she would have wrote notes.
If all this Leonard's perspective, when she was trying to save, when he was trying to save her from when he was trying to get Goldie, and that's a really important moment because his motivations then are more important because he didn't know that they were connected yet. So what's his motivation there? Yeah. Like where's that motivation?
Plus, on top of that too, it's it was, I don't know, it's. This is so I'm ranting now because this really frustrates me because all 3 of us rated the book pretty well. Like we were genuine want to go read the second book. Right? Yeah. Those 3 chapters took my if we ending up rating the book now with these 3 chapters, I'm gonna literally mark this as a 4 out of 10 and not read the next book. That will be my review. Because those because
you're going a little harsh there, buddy.
No, I'm not being harsh because it's all my reality here. Because the 3 chapters they put in there is the most useless and the most dumbest thing I've ever read, and it ruined a great book for what it is already. Right? Yeah,
I could have just lived without them. They're not necessary. Like,
yeah. Well, to be honest with you, originally I was gonna rate this last 3 chapters a poo out of 10. That's how bad it is.
Are we creating a whole nother rating system now? Poo out of 10?
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, that's how disappointed I am. Like you have no idea how pissed off I was when I finished reading those 3 chapters. And like I can read other things that's more exciting than this.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. It definitely didn't add to, I mean, I already I'm looking forward to reading the next one, but those 3 chapters didn't make me more want to. That didn't make me like, especially like, I'm not 100% sure is the next one from his perspective. I don't think it is, but I'm like, if it was, I'm like, I don't know. Do I want it from his perspective?
See, you're right though, because I'm very, very skeptic about book 2 now because I haven't read anything or even did any research in book 2. If the book 2 becomes his perspective and Violet's perspective, I might get very annoyed.
Yeah, I think I get annoyed at that.
Because the storyline of Zane is really, really nice to see it from the third person's from the eyes of Violet, because it's very nice because she's exploring that side of him while we're reading it. Like we are with her exploring that side of his storyline, right? But if any of like finding out that book 2 or even book 3 is his perspective, I'm gonna be super annoyed because the mystery of him goes away. The problem with this book is his perspective, because his perspective is based on his perspective, and right now the book currently is based on Violet's perspective on him. It gives you that mystery on him, right?
Yes, exactly. And that's what I love about that, because he, his signet is shadows and he's supposed to be mysterious and she's not supposed to know all this. And she's slowly learning these aspects about him. And then if it's from his perspective, then you already know this stuff. Now, I mean, I know that authors do this because it's a fan request that, it be from other perspectives and they want to know from the other persons because they've read this book a million times. So now they're absorbed in the world. But at this point, I'm like, well, I would rather have a book from Liam's perspective. Let's hear that book, because that would be pretty interesting.
Or even her,
totally
her best friend, like, a different perspective on her. If that's the case, might as well just have like every single book is a different perspective of the same story.
That's what I'm saying.
If that's the case,
might as well.
Yeah, then she's gonna be a billionaire, gazillionaire, and all of us are
Let's
like,
say,
whatever,
guess what? They will sell. I promise you, they will sell.
Well, you actually made a point that oh man, I forgot what you said now. You made a point that the perspective is based on him, right? And the biggest issue I have is when you have that kind of storyline, right? Of his perspective, her perspective, it loses that feel of mystery. But what happened if you just like, it's like, I don't know. I'm just having trouble like justifying those 3 chapters. I think it's just me.
Right? I have listened to like romance books before where it goes back and forth between the 2 people's perspectives, and I'm not a fan of it personally. So I mean, I have listened to books that are like this, and I hope the second book is not like this, because I would like it to all be from her perspective. And then whatever she wants to throw in some bonus chapters at the end, again, fine. But I didn't really like the going back and forth. So I'm glad she did not try to integrate these into the book. I don't think that would have been a good decision.
Yeah, if she ended up integrating this book because the fans requested it, your fans are doing you no justice. Like, if I'm a big fan,
my concern here is not that, Leonard. It's that, what about the second book? Keep on going about her having her perspective. What if it's Brendan's perspective?
Well,
that would be a good book.
But here's the problem, though, with that as well, too, because remember at the end of chapter 39, that's when they reveal that Brendan's alive, or 38. Sorry, 39, whatever.
39 now.
That's fine. Then you can say, hey, if they do a time shift back to the past, the reason why he quote unquote died, that makes sense, right? Then we flash back to where she is now, right? Then that makes a lot of sense. But if
they could do that.
Yeah, if you end up doing a half the book in his perspective and Zane's perspective, just let me know when Violet started, and I'll start my book reading from there. Because the fans are not always right. That's what I'm saying.
I know. They're not always right.
They're not always right. If you think, as a writer, you think everything is the way it's supposed to be, fuck them. Keep going. Then after that, then start
I don't know.
fixing that
authors
throughout the
want
next
to give
book.
the people what they want, man. So
No, I understand all that, but at the same time, you already have a plan. Finish it off and move on. That's just
Well,
me.
okay. Do we know like when these third chapters came out? Like how long was the book out? I didn't do any research on this.
Derek,
so
you did the research on this one. Do you know when the extra bonus came out?
And, well, I mean, I read it well after the original one came out, and actually, what had occurred was because there's two versions, I had gotten the original version and not the second version with the additional chapters in it. And in the updated one, his perspective is put in, like chapter 9 is chapter 9, so it's built into the book, like as you're reading through it, right?
Yeah.
So
see, I disagree with that. I don't think they should ever do that.
Yeah, so
I'm
that's
okay with
originally when
these
we went
bonus
through
chapters.
and we were making decisions about how to review this. I had said I read it originally as the book, 39 chapters, and then the bonus ones were in there. And when I had realized there was an addition, of course I went back and reread the book, but I didn't realize until I got to there that it was just these 2-3 chapters. And I said to myself, well, that was kind of a waste of my time. So when we came to review it, I said, look, I just want you to have the original experience that I had, because I thought it was a better
Which I'm
experience,
really
right?
glad you
So-
did, because I think they wouldn't have made any sense. I would have been even more confused than I randomly was throughout this book, because yes, she does, which my sister is reading the book right now, and she's like, every single few chapters I'm left with so many questions. I said, yeah, that's pretty much our feeling about it too, but usually the questions are answered in the next batch of chapters we listen to, because there's a lot, she leaves a lot of things just hanging there that will end up being paid off later, but that would have introduced more questions that were not yet answered until way later in the book, and I would have been like, what is he talking about? What about Brennan? What about Horatio? What about he said some things that made sense now after you read the entire first book, but would have made absolutely no sense to me if it was filtered in there or placed in there.
There's no value in those 3 chapters. Zero value.
Yeah,
Well,
you
here's the
don't really
problem.
learn anything.
If she has this intention of pandering to the fans or whatever that might be, and the second book goes and she starts to integrate both of their perspectives in every single chapter, back, forth, the second and third books would be very different than the first.
I know, and really long. Like, wow.
Like, I don't mind the length.
How long of a book are you going to make that?
Yeah, I don't mind the length at all. It's the
By the way, the other books are very long.
again, I don't mind the length at all.
I did see, I downloaded the second book already, and I was like, oh, this is like twice as long as the first one.
Yeah, like I don't like the length itself. The book, the book 1 was fine. I have zero problem with that, because there was a lot of things the book 1 has that holds your attention to, right? So it's there. Like I had no issues with book 1. The issues I have is the extra 3 bonuses that provide zero.
So now
Nothing.
the main question is, are you guys going to read the second book, and what do you think happens?
I am planning to read second book. I'm going to be skeptic how it's going to start.
Yeah.
If how it started, how it end book 1, including the bonus chapters, and that's how it's going to start, and how the book's going to be like that, I might not survive book 3.
Not survive. Well, I downloaded it, so I am like, as soon as we were done recording, I was like, I'm going to start the second book. I'm very excited to start the second book. So, but yes, I hope it's not going to be from his perspective, personally.
Yeah, same here.
But what do you think is going to happen? Because I mean, obviously they're going to war or some stuff like that. I'm hoping that Violet gets stronger, and I think I had said this last time, but I'm wondering if she learns how to be somewhere in between, the evil venom, and they're pulling from the earth or whatever. But what if she's the only one that can do that, but not turn evil? That would be cool. I'd like that.
How about you, Derek?
I think that we're going to expand the venom, but also I think the Brendan thing's going to have to be a primary thing to start off the next book. It has to be.
You're right. It's going to need to be about that a lot. That's true.
For me, it would be nice to continue the waking up in the hospital. It would be nice for her not to, it would be nice for her not to have her powers back, and she has to rely on her background as
That would
a scribe.
bum me out.
And
I also want her to get back with Zayden. I hope she forgives him at some point. Come on.
No, that's not gonna happen. If it does happen, it's gonna happen at the end when he gets injured.
Maybe it's going to be a whole book of won't they kind of thing again.
It's going to be like an English Patient style reunion, Okay. But
it's quite a prediction.
I know, right? But it would be nice for her to get out of the hospital, not having powers, not having connection with any of her dragons because she lost it because of the poison. It would be nice for her to actually has to learn to communicate with her dragons verbally and like they have to learn how to communicate to each other, right? That would be great because
that would be interesting.
Yeah, because
and what about Goldie? Because didn't he say she was like huge now or something?
Yeah.
That she grew. I'm curious about that.
Yeah, same here. This is why I'm saying that it would be nice for her not to get her powers back. Her link is gone. She has to relearn how to communicate with them. She needs to learn how to use her background as a scribe to do research and all that good stuff to become a better writer, right? Because that will give a perspective of like, okay, you have this person that's kind of weak, doesn't have a connection to her dragons, but the dragons refuse to leave her, right? Now she has to learn how to write properly without them.
That would be so hard. I can't even imagine like how to ride the dragon stuff without being able to talk to him. And I don't know. That would be. I feel like I might be. I don't think that she's going to lose a connection to them, but I think maybe she has lost her powers for a bit. And that something's going to happen and make her get it back or something. Because I feel like they can't have a whole second book where she has no power.
No, her power, because remember, her power going, in the beginning of the first book, right? Her powers is not magic. Her powers is like breathing, remembering things. She knows
but you're going
things
to give her this crazy amount of power and then take it away? I don't know. I don't know if she's going to do that.
Because it already happened because she got stabbed. Right? She already said that they already lost her power. So what is she going to do next? She has to adapt. And the only way to adapt is go back to what she knows for a while. That her dad showed her. Her dad gave her the books. Right? So that's, in my opinion, I think that will be great if that's the case.
Well,
Brendan would have more information now than anyone else.
What's that, Derek?
Brendan has more information than she does because he's on whatever this thing is with Zayden.
The resistance.
Oh, yeah.
He has more information. So he would either know what the father knew or have even more information than that. So I guess that's the connection. But that's why I say
revolution. He said, welcome to the revolution.
Fight the power, man. Fight the power.
Fight the power. We're going to hear all about that. I'm excited.
Mom is a piece. No.
Too bad I can't play music. That'll be a great fight the power. That'll be amazing.
Oh yeah, I bet her mom's going to come back into play for some other reasons. I'm trying to think of what were we left off with in the first one that was not exactly explained that we still need to know. I feel like there's definitely still something with her mother.
Her mother, the powers that be. Why did they send the rebellion kids there? Is Dane?
Oh yeah,
is
right.
Dane part of that?
Yeah, and exactly. Is Dane going to be like bad guy now? And what about the Venom sorcerer guy wanted her? I feel like there's something with that.
Because of his power, because of her power.
They think they can use her power or something like that. So I think there's going to be something with that.
Well, her mother is the Sith Lord, and Dane is Darth Vader.
You think so?
Oh, that could be it, right? That right then and there.
It could be.
And it'll be the most. If Brandon becomes the bad guy, let's just say this: if Brandon becomes the bad guy, you think he's gonna be like, he becomes a bad guy, and next thing Violet will be like, "Ooh, a new bad boy. I didn't know that's your side too."
Come on, don't go there. I mean, that's just
you're
ridiculous.
thinking the same thing.
No. What I'm saying is that Brendan doesn't even look like the bad guy in this situation. For whatever his reasons are, he is either on Zayden's side, or they're on the quote unquote the same side, or they have the same agenda, whatever that is. Probably something to do with the Wyden, whatever. I can't get the name right. The Wyden. I still can't get it right. God, you know what I'm talking about.
The magical zombies.
So whatever.
The magical zombies.
What?
The magical zombies. I think that's best to describe what they are.
Magical zombies, yeah. So clearly he's been doing this for 6 years and everybody thinks he's dead. Either he's not doing a good job, he's hiding, or he's fighting a guerrilla war or something like that.
Brandon the Yoda is training other people to fight the war.
Yeah, maybe. Maybe he's going to impart all this wisdom on her and teach her some shit. Maybe the whole beginning of the next book is like a big training montage because she has to learn some new information.
She's running down the street, someone throwing an apple to her.
Yeah.
Are we going to do Rocky music now?
Playing,
is that what we're doing, Hannah? Rocky music.
The Rocky music would be amazing.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, that's definitely it. We're spot on, guys.
Okay, now we got to do this now. We got to do this. How are you guys going to rank this last 3 chapters? Okay, rank these chapters outside the book itself. And actually, I'm going to give you guys 2 rankings. Rank the last 3 chapters as a standalone. Rank it, and the second one is rank it the book with those 3 chapters inserted. Who wants to go first?
Oh, I'm sending her first. I'm gonna follow her.
Okay, so I had said the book originally was like an 8. So the last chapters alone, I'm gonna say are like 5 or 6, something like that, maybe 5.
Wow,
and
you're
then
generous.
If they were put,
you're very generous there for that stuff.
If they were put into the book, I think I would have had to drop the book down to a 6 or 7. So let's say 4 or 5, 4 for the chapters alone, and then with the in the book, I'd say I would have rated the book a 6. I would have dropped it down to a 6.
Okay, how about you, Derek?
I kind of in agreement on the rating there. I kind of think that's a legit logical argument there.
For me, I'm gonna be a lot more brutal. The strictly the last 3 chapters. The only thing I like about that is the last chapters of. Actually, you know what? I don't like any of them. So I'm gonna give it I'm giving it a 2 out of 10. It's the most useless 3 chapters, and it can be done through a prologue properly.
You know what? I'm gonna argue with you about this.
No, hold on. Let me finish. If the author insert this as part of the book to get his perspective, I'm dropping it down to 5 out of 10. Because the book got ruined. The book literally got ruined because of that. That's just my opinion.
I think the flow of the book gets ruined. I think the flow of it. I think it gives us information which is usable, which is why I wouldn't say it's a 2 out of 10.
But how the book ended though, Derek? If Brandon knows about this, if his brother knows that I'm doing this to her sister, next year Brandon showed up on like WTF. He already knows. What the fuck? Seriously.
Maybe he doesn't know that he's
no.
You know,
he knows.
Like,
he
what
knows.
do you do?
Derek.
What do you do with my sister? No, what do you do?
No, Derek. Well, yeah, but at the same time too, because you remember, I think it's chapter 2 or the last chapter 9. Yeah, something like that. He already said in the bonus chapters that if Brandon knew, if her brother knew what I'm thinking about Violet, he's gonna have a hissy fit. He's gonna be mad. Right, he already knows. He already saw that Brandon's already there, and at the last chapter 39, Brandon showed up. I'm like, well, surprise, not duh, right?
Right, yeah. They kind of already revealed that. I also just want confirmation or like that validation that I said that Zayden definitely wanted her that entire time, and he made that little sparring match very sexy. And now coming from his perspective, yeah, he knew exactly what he was doing.
Oh yeah,
he was totally turned on by her and knew that she was also turned on by him. And I was like, haha, I knew it. I knew you were doing this on purpose.
Yeah, so that's why my rating went down to 5 because there was a lot of if those chapters got inserted as part of version 2 of book 1, the whole storyline gets destroyed. She has to do so much rewrite to make this work.
I think because it's only 3, I wouldn't jump that far just because it would have bummed me out. And yeah, I do think it would have disrupted the flow of it. But overall, I think I still would enjoy the book, even if I was a little nitpicky about like, did we really need those chapters kind of thing? But I think overall, I still liked the book. So sticking with
I like version 1.
7 or 6?
Yeah, I like book 1, version 1. So everyone who's listening to this and wants to know our perspective, read book 1, version 1. Don't bother reading version 2 with a bonus because you're going to be disappointed.
Join us next time as we review chapters 1 to 4 of Convergence, Book 6, Dead World by Craig Allenson. Thank you for joining us today. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and share a review. We love to hear from you. Send us an email at yourbookmarksinfo@gmail.com. Join us again right here where you left off.